I hope that this recording is not going to have the rollback part like the last one that I was making for release, where I had to roll back for the first time in 3 years. So just for anyone watching the video, this is Enrique releasing the extension with my assistants. We are going to follow the release documentation and see whether it works, as I said before, on other people's computer as well, or if my computer is the only one that can release the extension.
Yeah, we've come to the agreement that if it's only Tomas' computer, we are gonna just ship it to the Dominican Republic. So we are not going to be like releasing 1 or 2 months straight.
Yeah, let's just wait till I'm back, and I'll be releasing after that.
Okay, so I have my editor opened. I probably have to switch branches to main. Oops. Okay, now I'm in main. I'm gonna do a fetch, so I ensure that I have the latest one. Oops, I may move this here. Okay, I have a fresh main now.
Okay, awesome. Now let's just run npm install just in case, but it's not really necessary because the packages used for releasing it's only the conventional changelog, and that never changes. So cool. Now let's follow the documentation and see where it leads us.
Okay. Okay, this is some information about how we release, perform release. Okay, this is all the process. Like I just need to follow all of these steps.
7 steps should be enough to release. So let's start even with the optional, just for completeness. Go.
So this step is about doing exploratory testing.
I usually just go like locally run it, like start the extension. That should do it. And then I test that, I don't know, like this is probably some leftover linting issue. That's what happens quite often. I wouldn't be too worried about it. Are you running it from, I see some submodule. Are you running the VS Code directly from? Yeah, okay, cool. So now let's just.
It says it says GitLab.
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah, that's okay. It doesn't have. Yeah, the extension. Yeah, this one where it says extension development host and title. It just means that it runs the extension in some folder, and the some folder is usually where you run it last time. That's where it opens it now. So the important thing about this window is whether the extension is running, not the folder that is opened. You just have to have a GitLab project open so you can test the extension. But what project it is, it doesn't matter. It just needs to be like you have to have a VS Code, like when you would open the code dot in some repository, it needs to be GitLab repository. So now you can go to the left panel where you see the Tanuki icon and see whether it works. And how you see that is that you click on the Tanuki, that will open the GitLab panel.
Okay, this one.
Yeah. Ooh.
I have a picture flag enabled. That's that's the reason that is visible.
Right. Let's disable the feature flag just for we see it how it's going to be in. Yeah. Nice.
It disappeared immediately. That's very nice. Okay.
So you've got 2 projects open. Let's just go to the pill in the left panel where you have issues and merge requests. Let's open the GitLab VS Code Extension dropdown. Let's open all project merge requests. It's the second last, or that one, third last item. And let's just open the draft. Let's the first one, for example. And then that will show you changed files. Now we are doing exploratory testing, and I usually click on the overview that tests that the web view is working. That's great. and then I click on like one of the diff files in the left panel. Yeah.
How do you choose what to do exploratory testing on?
Say that again.
How do you choose what to do exploratory testing on?
Like usually what I do is that I literally just open the side panel and go for the first web view. And if it works, then like that tests all the integration. Everything else would be either caught by automated testing, or it's not going to be like Sev1 issue. And so I don't care. I'm not doing like a full Q&A.
So if you say again what you said in the last 15 minutes, my headsets got are discharged.
Yeah, I was saying when I decided what to do, like when I'm doing exploratory testing, I really just open the side panel, make sure that it shows me the tree for the project. I open one issue or merge request in a web view, and that this part like tests all the important integration points, and everything else that would go bad is like a not Sev1 priority one issue, and it can be fixed in like a follow-up bug fix, you know? Like there is enough automated testing that the only thing that could really fail is the extension not starting at all, or the web view integration being wrong, especially when somebody touches web view. Otherwise, I don't even do that. But now we are touching the web view quite a bit. So I click on the web view as well. But that's like all the exploratory testing that I'm doing.
When we had to do the rollback last week, why did it happen?
I didn't do the optional step. I didn't expect that the web view wouldn't work, and the web view didn't work because we changed part of the integration that was responsible for booting up or starting the web view.
Okay.
And so I didn't do the optional step before, and I did it only after, because that's how I've been doing it for years now, that I just double check when it's deployed. And this was like the rollback. Funny enough, it's on a video when I'm saying that it hasn't happened in like 3 years. This was the first time in 3 years that happened, and I got it on a video. So I rolled back. It wasn't like anything too bad anyway.
That's a good track record.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If you look far enough in the history, then yes. If you look just at the last 2 weeks, then it's 1 out of 1 releases rolled back, or 1 out of 2 actually. Okay, so this works. Let's just close this.
Okay. I think that it could be good to document. It's not like we have to be super prescriptive about what to do exploratory testing on, but it's
I can add there a line to the release saying that if the extension starts and if you can click into web view, that's enough of exploratory testing. I can do that. Cool. So we've got that, and let's have a look at step number 2 in the list for the release. Okay.
So let's go to the documentation. Update the package version in npm version type. Yeah. Okay. So we are going to release. Do we have to specify the type of release?
Yes. It's not implemented yet that it would handle semantic releases based on the end commits. I would really like it, but I haven't had the time to go around it. So like what I would do, instead of like before writing it, like we need to figure out what the commits are in there. And I guess I can again update the documentation for it. So like we could have a look what's in main since the last release. And what I'm looking for, it's on the video, but it's not written, so I'll write it. The thing that I'm looking for, I think you have to go to like code and somewhere there, commits. I'm looking for a feature. I'm so surprised that feature made it into. I wonder how the one that you hovered over, that's not a valid commit name, the feature. I wonder how that made it to. That had to somehow skip our testing of the commit messages, the linting of commit messages, because feature is not a valid commit name. You know, the prefix feature colon.
But that's a valid semantic commit, no?
No, I think it's feed.
Yeah,
Feature is not.
right.
So if you have a look at and what does the commit say? Like if you go to commits, feed.
Oh.
So how did that happen that it turned from feed to feature in the commit message that we see in the commits list? That's strange.
That's probably because we probably have a merge request setting that rewrites a commit title based on the merge request title. Yeah, probably this is the squash commits when merge request.
But that only applies when there is only one, where there is more than one commit. Otherwise, it uses the commit. That's really strange.
It is.
I guess I can like, I don't know if it happens more times. We can investigate. I won't have. I know for certain that I won't have time to investigate this before I go on the leave. But since there is a feature, the tag that we are going to be creating is minor, not patch. If there was only bug fixes, we would be creating a patch that's written in the documentation.
Do you have a similar policy? Because in the main GitLab application, we do not consider features behind a feature flag to be a minor release or a release that should be.
Yeah, that's another thing that's skipped my. Yeah, true, 100%. You're right. When it's behind feature flag, it's not a feature, and the commit shouldn't have a feature. That's something that I guess it's not clear enough during the review process. But when I review a merge request in the project, I always ask people to use refactor or chore unless it's a user-facing feature. So true. So let's have a look. What else is there in the commits? Is there another feature except for that one that's behind feature flag? I see CI. We can scroll down. I don't see any feature.
Let's see.
Docs, refactor, refactor. Then there is something again that doesn't match the conventional commit. That's so strange. I don't know whether that is a feature or like that's the reason the David's commit is the reason that we are releasing. Wayne wants that released, and I don't know whether that's a feature or a bug fix. Like I have no idea how it passed our CI lint again.
What happens when there are more than one commit that doesn't follow the conventions? Does npm version knows how to document that in the automatic change log?
Well, the npm version doesn't know how to. It doesn't listen to the conventional commits. It's just we need to decide. And so if you would go here in the commits tab, at least the commit needs to have here. I mean, where you were, and on the merge request there is like a commits. Yeah, that one refactor. Okay, so that's not a feature, at least not according to David. I have no idea how the MR title made it in there. That's strange.
It is. Do you enable merge strings?
Yeah, I did. That does it. Okay. Well, that tripped me up. Then I didn't know that merge strings will start using the MR titles. Then the lint is incorrect. The MR the commit lint that we are using. I'll create an issue for it. But for now, let's go with a releasing patch version because there is no feature in that.
Okay. So recapping, you go look at the list of commits to get a sense of what we are releasing, either a patch, a minor, or a major version.
Yes.
And we go back to the terminal. Based on that decision, we specify that to npm version.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've never released major, or we've released major version once, and I don't think we will do it again. So the decision is really, is there a feature? If yes, then it's if it is a feature, then it's a minor version. If there isn't a feature, then it's a patch version.
That makes sense.
Can you check what we did the conventional changelog write into the changelog? If you do git show, if you type in git show, you will see what the changelog looks like. Okay. And it's empty because there is nothing user facing that has been released in this version. In this scenario, and I'm just realizing how much how much of undocumented thing is there. But in this scenario, what I would do, I would go to the changelog in the editor, and I would write one sentence about why that version is being released.
That makes sense. So let's open the changelog.
Here, yeah, I would write something like we've changed. That was like a ignoring IRB. Is it ignoring or enabling it? The commit that we were looking at. Ignore.
This sounds like something. I think that we could even manually write that we are publishing a bug fix, because this is definitely not a refactor. It's gonna change the extension's behavior.
Yeah.
For the user, right?
Yeah. So that was a missed like a commit type. And so here I would just say, I would put there like a, yeah.
I'm going to just it would be nice if we could add a little bit more information of why we're doing this. I think that the reason is that we don't support that kind of files yet.
I guess so.
Here it says
internal team member markdown experience. Yeah, I would just put that internal team member. Yeah, the whole, maybe this whole like a paragraph, I would just paste it in there in that bullet point. Just gonna message a few people on the Slack that I'm gonna be a little bit late with the, namely Alpa, that I'm gonna be late for the catch-up that you, I, and Alpa were supposed to have soon.
Yeah. So these links to the commit in the main branch, ERB files. So this is the and a link to the commit itself. Do we have anything in the agenda for today's engineering sync?
I think that Alper wanted to discuss something. He created 3 merge requests that he wanted to chat about.
Okay.
But I would, at least in this video and this meeting, I would kick off the pipeline, which means that should be done now that we've created this. If you can check just the markdown preview, that this is correctly formatted. Like, you know, it's, yeah. That looks good to me. If you click through to that link, it opens the correct commit. Yeah, awesome. So now I would, when I'm doing this, I don't create merge request for it. When I'm changing changelog, just for the, like for the speed of this and sanity of it, when I'm doing small changes to changelog right after release, I'm just creating chore commits. And since I'm already pushing to master anyway, because if you will look at the next steps in the release process, like maybe you can go to the, like, so now we've changed the changelog and we need to create a commit. Let's go to the review process and I'll explain what's usually happening in there. So here if the point 3 is about changing changelog, the one above, like the top level 3, like the.
So these are a script to get the emails from the contributors, and then this is about manually changing the changelog file.
Exactly.
But then, like I guess that there is a missing step where you commit the changelog changes. What you do is just that you mark it as a chore, as you said before.
I would say something like a chore update changelog after release. Yeah. If you do git show and we just like double check what we've created. Perfect. I'll update the release documentation with the 2 things that we found so far, which is how to do the testing. 3 things: how to do the testing, how to look for commits to find, and what's my like a decision tree for minor versus patch version, and with this 3rd step with committing the changelog file. I'll add those 3 things. I'll send a merge request your way, Enrique, after that.
Thank you, Thomas.
And now we created some version, I don't remember which one it is, and we will push main and we will push. Right. 68. So git push origin main. That's one. That's one thing. Yeah.
Ooh, I'm pushing the main.
Yeah. Well, I'm all yes to like this should be automatable except for the community contributors, unless we will introduce some footers or like trailers for the commit messages. But all right, so now we push the tag. It needs to be V at the beginning. All right, now this is going to take about 7 minutes to finish the last steps.
Okay, so we wait until the pipeline finishes.
Yeah.
And then we have to
trigger the manual steps in the pipeline that publish because the pipeline generates the VSIX archive, and there is a manual step to send this archive into OpenVSX and the Microsoft Marketplace. Okay, so this manual step is performed by the CI, right? Yes. Yeah, like in the CI, it's like it's a button that you click there for the jobs to run. Oh, and then you even have a template for what I have to publish in Slack. That's amazing. Yeah, I see that like some things I got right and some things I didn't document at all. I'm so glad that we managed to do this one release before I'm going for leave, because this is super useful. Like the things that are in my mind like automatic and are not documented, those are the trickiest. Yeah, but so still, like, the process is super well documented anyways. So thank you for that. Stop the recording.